Hi, it's Jonathan Quaid again for today's Lifebuilder Daily Inspirational Quote and today's life hack. So I'll be talking about meditation today and how you can incorporate meditation into your life to greatly improve it, to benefit you in all aspects. And I'll actually be showing you a very simple, easy relaxation or meditation technique that you can start practicing right away. You don't need anything else. You just need your breath. But first, I want to give you today's quote, which is by Dan Millman, and it's very simple, very short. He said that the goal of meditation isn't to control your thoughts; it's to stop them from controlling you. Some quite profound wisdom in there. So in Buddhist teachings, they talk about something called the monkey mind. That's the mind that is always thinking. It's always on to the next thing. It's thinking in the future. It's thinking about the past. It's chattering away, yammering away, telling you all kinds of mostly nonsense that really just clutters your mind with irrelevant thoughts that are not very helpful, that are not doing anything. They're not productive. They're not going to make you any happier. On the contrary, they're more likely to make you stressed, anxious, fearful, depressed. And this is where all the negative emotions come from, because thought and emotion are completely connected. So if you can't somehow let go of that monkey mind, that chatterbox in your mind, then these negative thoughts and emotions just seem to come of their own accord, and they seem to run your life. So as Dan Millman said, the goal is to stop letting these thoughts stop them from controlling you. So how do you do that? And you need some kind of tool. You need some help, some aid. In meditation terms, this is called a mantra. What a mantra does is it helps you to focus, helps your mind to focus on one single thing. It could be a word or a phrase that you say to yourself. It could be the breath. It could be a candle flame. It could be something that you mentally hold in mind. And by this single-pointed concentration or focus, you give the mind something to focus on, which means that it's not distracted, so that the monkey mind just gets disengaged. So it's a way of tricking the monkey mind. It's a bit like, think of an analogy as a dog who's barking. It's just yapping away, and it's yapping, and nothing will stop it. Give the dog a bone, and that's going to stop it barking, isn't it? Because now the dog's got something to do, to focus its attention on for the time that it takes to eat the bone. So the same idea applies in meditation. You give your mind a mantra, you give it something to focus on, and automatically the chatterbox mind subsides. So it's not controlling you anymore. So you start to create more awareness, more clarity, more openness, more space in your mind. And in that state of unconditioned consciousness, it's called, of pure awareness, pure consciousness, whatever you want to call it, you can actually operate very effectively, because when you need to think, you will think. Thoughts will come as they're needed, but you won't have all this mental static. I talked about mental static yesterday. So we have this radio going, and there's all this static, and we have to clear out the static. Well, that's what a mantra does. It helps you to clear your mind, clear out the static, and just access that pure awareness, that pure state of consciousness. If you can do that for selected periods during the day, that will tend to transfer into your whole life. So the more you do that, if you make conscious relaxation or meditation a part of your life, it's going to help you to stay more in that state of mental clarity, awareness, where Your mind is useful. It's a useful tool. You can use it when you need to, but it's not running you. The chatterbox mind, the monkey mind, isn't running the program and constantly bombarding you with these negative, stressful thoughts. So that's the benefit of doing a regular daily practice of meditation. Doesn't have to take a long time. I'd suggest starting off with, say, 10 minutes in the morning, maybe 10 minutes in the late afternoon or evening, and maybe you can build up to 15 or 20 minutes. So you end up with half an hour to 40 minutes of this concentrated practice, and it is a life-changing practice. If you do this, your mind will start changing, your health will improve, and things start, because everything that you is within you is creating your external reality. Things start to change on the outside as well. So you tend to have better relationships. You tend to be more effective and more productive in your work, in pretty much every aspect of your life. This transfers to. So you can't really overestimate the importance of that half an hour or 40 minutes. People say, I don't have time. What? So you don't have time to be happier, you don't have time to be more fulfilled, you don't have time to have better relationships. If you don't have time for these things, then what are you spending your time on? We have time for TV, maybe, you have time for shopping, you have time for surfing the internet, for spending hours on social media. We make time for all these things, which a lot of them are not very helpful. Whereas meditation will, the leverage effect from that half an hour or 40 minutes that you spend every day is enormous, because it ripples throughout your whole life, your health, your well-being, productivity, relationships, creativity, intuition, the ability to manifest things. Everything improves. But I've talked enough about it, so I hope I've sold you on the benefits of doing it. I'm going to show you a very simple technique now, how you can actually incorporate a conscious relaxation or meditation into your daily life. So you just sit quietly, try and make sure you're not going to be disturbed by anything, so switch off your mobile phone. If you have people around, try and just go into a room where you know you're not going to be disturbed. You can do this at work. You just shut yourself in your office, switch off everything, say, not to be disturbed for 10 to 20 minutes. A really good time to do it, though, is in the early morning. So you get up before the craziness of the day takes over, and you just say, right, first 10 to 15 minutes, I'm going to sit in a quiet place. You can sit up in bed. Don't lie down, because you'll go back to sleep probably. Sit up in bed, or you can go out into the garden. If you've got a garden, nature's always a nice addition to this. It enhances this because there's a kind of softer, gentler energy. Find a place, find a spot where you can do this, and just make it a regular part of your day, because it changes your whole day. And then in the late afternoon or evening, often we feel a bit tired, there's some jagged edges from the day. That's also a great time to do it. And that really is like a face wash from the mind. It really will help you to feel a lot more refreshed and alert for the evening. So you have a better quality of experience for the rest of your waking day, and you'll tend to sleep better as well. So this, because it starts to change your brainwave patterns. You start to go more into an alpha brainwave state, which is a lower, slower brainwave state, and you need to be an alpha in order to fall asleep. If you're in a beta pattern, which means there's still a lot of brainwave activity, means there's a lot of thoughts going on, you won't sleep. And we've all experienced that, where you just lie awake and the thoughts are coming and your mind's going, and you can't shut it off. So practicing this a couple of times a day will help you to get better sleep. So without further ado, I'm going to show you the technique. So just close your eyes, cup your hands in your lap. You can just touch your thumbs lightly together. Make sure you're sitting reasonably upright. Shoulders back, so you're not hunched over, back straight. Suggest you start doing this in a chair or against a wall if you want to sit on the floor, so you don't put undue pressure on your core and your back. Ultimately, you can sit on the floor, and you can sit in an upright position, but when you're starting, just find a chair, make sure you're physically comfortable so that doesn't distract you. So close your eyes. I'm just going to talk you through the next, say, 5 minutes, just this breathing meditation. I call it breath watching. So all you're going to do is breathe in through your nose and breathe out for the next few minutes. And as you do that, just notice what's happening. Notice how the air flows into your nostrils. Notice how the belly rises. So when you breathe through your nose, the stomach should automatically push out. And it's because your diaphragm is contracting and sucking the air into the deeper parts of your lungs. So that pushes your belly out. And then as you exhale, the belly should naturally fall, a slight contraction in your tummy muscles. So just tune into all these things. Notice the breath, notice the belly rising and the belly falling. And notice any thoughts. Are you thinking anything? What you should start to experience already is that your mind is quiet. When you do conscious breathing through your nose, it tends to clear your mind. And you tend to find this openness and spacious awareness arises. Slows down the thoughts, activates what we call the parasympathetic nervous system. So that's the relaxation response built into your body. And that automatically happens whenever you do nasal breathing. So just breathe in through the nose, notice the belly rise, exhale, and notice how the belly falls. And just keep up that pattern of breathing. Inhaling and exhaling. Breathing in, breathing out. All you have to do is put your attention on the breath. Nothing else to do, nothing else to think about. If your mind sort of wanders off and you find the monkey mind starting to think about something other than right here, right now, that could be something that's happened in the past, or a lot of us are tuned to the future channel. So you're thinking about what you have to do next, your daily list of chores and things to do. This is, in meditation, you want to let go of all of that. Just give your mind this space and this time to rest, to be completely open and clear. Those things aren't going to go away, so you can always pick them up after this. But for this little time, just focus 100% of your attention on your breath. And with each breath, you're just getting a little bit more relaxed, breathing a little bit more deeply and slowly with every breath, allowing yourself to sink a little bit deeper into this lovely, peaceful, calm, relaxed state of mind. There's nowhere to go, nothing to do for the next couple of minutes. Just breathe. If any thoughts arise, just let them go by returning your attention to the breath. So just watch your breath. You're the observer of your breath. You're watching the breath happen. You're watching the breath breathe you. It's not really you consciously doing it. It's just happening. And there's part of your mind which is the observer, the witness, that's just able to watch this. So you might have a sense of, well, this isn't really me. This body breathing isn't my ultimate reality. The ultimate reality is the observer, that awareness in you that can just look, just observe in a really detached, objective way and notice what's happening. And you should find a lot of peace, a lot of calm from taking this observer perspective. So it allows you to detach from your mind, from all the noise, the mental chatter. And just for these few minutes every day, find a state of calmness, of peace, where everything's okay. Because in truth, in your deeper mind, everything is always okay. That awareness is always there, no matter what's happening in your life, no matter what thoughts are blowing through your mind that seem to distress you or upset you. So meditation connects you with your true awareness, your true nature, your true self, whatever you want to call it. And that ultimately is the purpose of it all. The more you come to know this true self, the more you can let go of the false self, and the happier you'll be in your daily life. So just a few more deep breaths. Breathing in, breathing out, just keep noticing the breath. Allowing yourself to get a bit more relaxed with every breath. And I want you to just consciously breathe in to any areas where you feel there's tension in your body. So breathe into your neck. That's where we hold a lot of tension, and your shoulders. And just kind of, as you exhale, try and let that tension go. So on the exhale, it's a very good opportunity to let go of anything that you don't want in your mind, any thoughts, any emotions, and any physical tension or sensations that you don't want. So you exhale, because the exhale is a natural letting go process. You just mentally follow that. Let the breath lead you into that and go, I'm letting go of this tension. And one more deep breath. Inhale and exhale. Before you open your eyes, just try and be aware of the state that you're in now, compared with a few minutes ago before you started this little breathing exercise. How do you feel physically? How do you feel mentally? You should feel clearer, more open, lighter, freer, calmer, more peaceful. So you want to try and anchor that state. And the anchor of that state is the breath. In neuro-linguistic program they talk about anchors. So if you can maintain just some connection with your breath, this awareness of your breath throughout the day, you'll find that you can anchor the state. You can bring the state back if you've lost it. You start to become more and more in the state, which is what you want. Clear, aware, but still pretty productive and functional. You can still operate very well in this state. So what you want to do is just try and maintain some awareness for the rest of today. And then if you get up tomorrow and you do this practice, which I'd recommend you do, because Bill Gates said if you don't do anything about a new idea within 24 hours of learning it, you probably will never do anything about it. So I really suggest you try this later today and get up tomorrow morning. Just allocate 10 minutes and do the practice. And then just try and maintain some awareness of your breath for the rest of the day. And you won't succeed all the time. There'll be times when you're not aware of it. But my first life hack was about just taking conscious breath breaks. So that's a way of just reconnecting you every hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, as often as you can remember. You can set a reminder on your phone. You can download all kinds of apps that allow you to do that now. And you just consciously breathe for 10 breaths. So it only needs to take a minute or two. And that reconnects you, that kind of anchors the state and resets you into the state so you can carry on in your day in this calmer, happier, more productive state. And then if you find yourself slipping out of it at any point, you can just do this. Just do a minute or two of breathing to calm yourself, to reconnect. Because the truth is, if you start going into a negative state, anything that you do in that state isn't going to be very functional or productive. So your best strategy then is to change your state. And doing a breath awareness practice like this, conscious breathing practice, is the quickest, easiest way of changing your state. I don't know any quicker way. If you just try and change your state mentally, that's very difficult. You need a tool, which is what the breath is. It's a mantra, it's a tool to restore your mind to its true awareness. And it's been used for thousands of years. This isn't new stuff. It's been used for millennia by people who want to find more peace, more happiness in their life. In yoga, breathing is a massive part of yoga, because they figured out thousands of years ago that it does connect you with your higher awareness and your true self. And it's very, very powerful way of starting to gain some control over your mind. So you're not actually, to return to the quote, you're not actually controlling your thoughts as much as letting go of the thoughts that control you, of the negative thoughts that you don't want. And then what's left actually is a space of no mind, no thought, which is actually when we're happiest, when we're not particularly thinking, we're just aware, we just are, we're being. So it reconnects us with that essential nature, that beingness, which is what we all truly are. But it's our minds, our thinking minds, that obscure that so much. Right, so on the count of 3, I want you to open your eyes. 1, just returning some awareness into your body, reconnecting with your body, noticing how your body's feeling, weight of your buttocks pressing on the chair, feet pressing on the ground. 2, notice your surroundings. You've still got your eyes closed, but notice the sounds, what's going on in your surroundings. Notice if there's any kind of airflow, notice that on your skin. Notice the ambient temperature of the room or wherever you're sitting. This just kind of brings you back into the body. Always take a minute or two at the end of a meditation to do this, just so you can bring yourself back, but you haven't lost that awareness. And then 3, coming back. Open your eyes. So I hope you feel lighter, clearer, freer, and happier. And on that note, I'll leave you for the rest of the weekend. I hope you have an inspired weekend. Do try and practice this tonight and tomorrow, so that you try and make it into a habit. If you're interested in finding out more about meditation, just go to meditationpowerpack.com. It's meditationpowerpack.com. You can see it on the screen. And I'll also be running a free webinar where I'll be doing a guided meditation process, guided letting go meditation process this Thursday evening from 8 o'clock. So you can register for that. Just go to theaolg.com. Okay, and you can see it on the screen, theaolg.com, and book your place. That's it for today. It was quite a long one, but I hope you found it valuable. And I'll be back in your on this channel in your inbox tomorrow with the next Lifebuilder daily quote and reflection tomorrow. Have a great day and weekend in the meantime. Bye for now.